Alright, let me see if that's any better. There we go. Alright, let me get zoomed in here so we got a good shot of our view. And straighten it a bit. Alright, I think that looks good. Okay, just trying to see where my position is. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. I didn't want to go portrait style. I wanted to go landscape style. So I want to welcome you to Creating Cards with Debbie. And like I said, be sure you comment when you come on. I'm just going to give a moment for everybody to get caught up here with me again after I shut down. All right. It's still not centered right where I want it to be, so let me scooch over just a bit. There we go. Okay, like I said, I'm Creating Cards with Debbie, and I want to welcome you here today. This isn't my normal day and time for doing my Facebook Lives, but I had changed it this week because I had some things going on, so a conflict of appointments here. So I'm going to do it today on a Saturday morning. It's 11 o'clock. It is September 16th, 2023. And like I said, I want to welcome you here. And my name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. So let me go ahead and start going through our things that we need to do before we do our cards. If you need to shop with me, or want to shop with me, I should say, you can shop with me at www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And if your order is under $150, please use the September code, which is XH47QQYH. And that was in my description of my video, but I think when I restarted it, I didn't add my notes to it. So I'll just leave that there for a moment so you can see it. Like I said, use that host code if your order is under $150. And if it's over $150, don't use that code because you'll get Stampin' Rewards. And if you need to reach out and email me, my email address is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com. Or you can private message me on Facebook, whichever you prefer. Alright, I'm just trying to figure out where to set everything at so it's out of my way here. Alright, and Paper Pumpkin has started a new month, which started on September. This will be our October Paper Pumpkin, and it's called, I'm trying to make sure I'm in camera view. It's called Home for the Holidays. It says create sparkling Christmas cards with this kit. Hard to believe that Christmas is almost here already. I don't know where this year has gone to. It's gone fast. So anyway, it says Home for the Holidays, Paper Pumpkin Kit. You can sign up for it from September 11th until October 10th. So get everything you need to create a shimmery, sparkling Christmas cards. This kit includes 8 card bases, 4 each of 2 designs, 8 coordinating envelopes, 1 real red spotting or Stampin' Spot, and 1 glitter glue, which is something new, and beautifully detailed pre-cut pieces, and 1 photopolymer stamp set. So if you want to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, you can sign up under me, which is www.paperpumpkin.com/en-us/sign up, and then demo ID is 2208093. I don't know if you can see that very well. But that also was in the description of the video. So let me see if there's anything else on the Paper Pumpkin I need to tell you about. Okay, what is Paper Pumpkin? Paper Pumpkin is our monthly one-stop box that offers a unique variety of paper projects for subscribers of any skill level to enjoy. These thoughtfully themed and all-inclusive craft kits encourage Stampin' Up! Customers to explore their creativity, try new techniques, and discover their potential in paper crafting. Okay. And like it said, it's a monthly kit. And you can stop at any time that you want to. All right. And also, if you want to get stocked up on your craft supplies, you can join my team for $99 and free shipping and handling. You can receive $125 worth of products of your choice. So if you have any questions on that, to reach out to me. So that's a bargain. Pay $99 and get $125 worth of products. And especially right now with the new catalog, mini catalog that came out, it's a good time to get all your things that are on your wish list. And speaking of the new mini catalog, this is our mini catalog from September to December 2023. And we finally get to open it and show our customers, which started September 6th. So lots and lots of goodies in there. And I'm going to move my glass. I keep knocking it over here. All right. October 7th, Stampin' Up! Is going to be showcasing our World Card Making Day. It says, during our virtual event on October 7th, we'll use the following supplies to make 3 different cards. Having these supplies on hand will make it easier for you to craft along with us. However, you're welcome to substitute any of these items as you like. And I'm not sure if it's showing on the camera very well, but we've got our Circle Sayings Bundle, Earth and Texture Bundle, and a new one that's Heartfelt Hexagon Bundle. So, and then we also have the card measurements and everything that you'll need a list of. Like I said, you can sign up for that on my website, and that is October 7th. And I forgot what time it is. I think it lasts like 3 hours. I don't remember what time they said. Does it say on here? No. But I could give you the exact time when I'll look it up later. All right. And then our online exclusives are still going on. We keep adding more and more each quarter. So speaking of online exclusives, Designer Series Paper has a special release, and it says we've added 5 new paper options to our online exclusives category. I'm not getting a full view here, but I'm getting most of it. It says, surprise, surprise, we're offering a special release of 5 beautiful new Designer Series paper options. These papers include fabulous holiday prints, gorgeous seasonal styles, and some spectacular timeless designs. We originally created these papers to be part of our second celebration offering. However, since our next release of new online exclusive products won't happen until November, and you won't be able to find any of these papers in a catalog, we've adjusted our strategy and decided to release these paper options starting September 6th. That way, you and our customers have the chance to get ahead on Christmas cards, seasonal crafts, and much more. These products are available while supplies last, so be sure to get those on your order before they're gone. I know they have sold out of some, but they're supposed to be getting more back in again, so no worries. I think there's a couple in there that are on back order right now. All right, I don't think I have anything else that I need to go over, so let's go ahead and get started here. Like I said, I'm doing a special Saturday event today because I had a conflict of appointments last Wednesday, so I had to move the day. But I'm hoping that y'all are able to join me today. Hi, Becky. Yeah, you're afternoon, aren't you? We're still morning yet. I'm glad you're here. I had to stop and start my video again because it was misbehaving, but I think it's all straightened out now. All right, our first project we're going to do some heat embossing. So this is the card. I'm just trying to make sure I'm in camera view. Looks like my lighting's okay. Okay, it says your friendship means everything. And I heat embossed the flowers and the leaves, so something a little bit different today. It says, wishing you the brightest birthday. So let's get our supplies out here and our instructions and everything, and we'll get started. And we're going to start out with, this is our Azure Afternoon. Had a senior moment there. I couldn't remember what the paper was called. Okay, Azure Afternoon, and this is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then I've scored it in the middle at 5 1/2. So we're going to burnish that edge of that card really good. And we'll set that aside for a moment. And I'm using the Designer Series paper. It's from the Fresh as a Daisy. And we're going to be using this side of the paper. It's on the other side of this little daisies. And that's kind of what gave me the inspiration for this card. Was I was looking at those flowers on there and I thought, oh, they look like they're maybe heat embossed. So that's what we're going to do. So, but we're using the back side of that for the blue background. But first off, we're going to have our mat. You see, I've got 2 of them here, so I want to make sure I don't mix them up here. Okay, so it's going to be 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And that's going to be our mat that our Designer Series paper is going to sit on. And our Designer Series paper is 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/8 inches. So I'm going to set our basic white aside because we're going to do our heat embossing. And let me get some paper here to protect my work surface a little bit. And I'm going to bring out our embossing tray. And I've got my embossing buddy here. And we're going to be using the copper embossing powder and the white embossing powder. And we need our Versamark ink. But let's go ahead and get rid of any static cling that might be on our Designer Series paper here. We'll put that back in the bag to keep that clean. And we've got little tweezers here. These are the reverse tweezers, and then our little brush in case we need to get any flicks off of there. Just to make sure my tray is clean. Any dust out of it. Alright, we're going to take our Versamark ink. And I need to bring my stamps over here. And, oh, I put the wrong ones on here. Let me switch this out. I put the large daisies on there, and I don't want the large ones. I want the smaller ones. So I want this one and this one. And switch that out. I wish I had a couple of small blocks instead of big ones, but I used them all, so we're going to get by with this one. So I've got the small daisy, and I did the outline one. There's a solid one, and there's an outline one. We're using the outline daisy. And I'm just going to ink that up with that Versamark, and I'm on a camera view a little bit. So, and then I'm just going to stamp 3. Well, 2 of these, and then we're going to do the other one. So it'll be 3 flowers all total. And Another one right about there. Oops. And I can do our other daisy. And I'm going to put him kind of in the middle towards the bottom. All right, then we're going to cover up our Versamark ink, so we don't want to get powder in it. And I'm going to use the white embossing powder. Bring my tray over here. And I'm going to dump the powder onto our Designer Series paper. And I like to do it a couple times. I want to make sure it's got good coverage. And then I flick it a little bit. Okay, that looks good. And this has got a little cap on the end to pour that back into our container. All right, I'm going to set that aside because I want to add my stems to my flowers. And repeat the steps again. So we'll bring our Versamark over here. And at least with the photopolymer, you can see through to make sure you're getting it lined up right where you want it to be. And one more stem right there. And put the cover back on that. And we'll repeat the dumping of the powder. The house is quiet. My husband's gone to mow the grass at the church, and then my dog is in her room taking her nap, so the house is pretty quiet right now. Alright, and then I still want to stamp some leaves. So here's the leaf that comes out of that set. And again, ink that up with the Versamark. And we're just going to put one leaf on each flower stem. And right there. All right, so that'll be the last of our white that we need to use. And we'll dump that back in there. And set that aside over there. Cover up our powder. We're going to turn on our heat gun. We don't need it flying all over the place. And I'm going to take my tweezers to hold on to the paper as I do this. Bring over our piercing mat to set that on. In the camera view. It takes a little bit for our gun to heat up before it starts melting our embossing powder, but there it goes right now. So be sure when you're doing this that you don't hold it too long on one spot, because it could burn your embossing powder, and you don't want that. You want just to make sure that it starts turning shiny and then get off of it. Okay, now we're going to come back in with our copper, and we're going to do the centers of our flowers. And I've got this little center for the flower. It works for both flowers. And we're going to do the center of each one. Cover on the Versamark. And bring our tray back over here. Let me see. I'm going to brush out the excess powder because I don't want white mixing in with my copper. So I'm just doing it off camera, dumping it into my trash, that little bit that's left in there. There. Alright. And I'll do it a couple times, make sure it's got good coverage. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and dump that back into our container. And take our brush and brush all that down to the opening so we can get all of it out. There. Embossing powder goes a long ways. You just don't use that much at a time, so it lasts you forever. And bring that back over here, my gun. And I'll do this again. Heat embossing just always fascinates me. It never gets tiresome. I'm just amazed at how it goes. It's like magic. Alright. So there's our embossing. Let me get my heat gun out of the way here. And with your heat gun, be sure that you don't leave it plugged in, because if you've got a cat or animals, they can turn it on accidentally and it could start a fire. So I always try to make sure I unplug it. That scares me. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and glue that to our basic white mat. And I'm just using my Tombow glue, or green glue, or mono multi liquid glue. I just call it Tombow. It is my adhesive of choice all the time. So, and we're going to have a little larger border going around, you know, what I normally do. So I'm going to place that down and hopefully I get it on there straight. And I've got some corners that aren't glued down there, so I'm going to put a little dot of glue under there. And a little bit more under this one. Alright, and that over there, that over there. And now we're going to attach our ribbon. I'm using the sheer ribbon combo pack. There's 3 different colors in here. So we're going to use the blue. I don't think that's the Azure Afternoon, but it goes really good with it. So, and did I measure that? I think I measured it out at 7 inches. But I just kind of eyeball it and place it across my card, and then I snip off where I want it to be. Bring my scissors over here. And my Stampin' Seal to attach that on the back side. I'm going to run a couple. I've got a brand new one here I haven't even used yet. There we go. I just put a refill in it the other day, and I guess I hadn't used it since I did that. Now I got the glue on my finger. Alright, so we're going to take this, and I'm going to bring my silicone mat over here so I don't get glue everywhere. I'm just going to pass that along the bottom side. Attach it on the back. And try to get it straight, which you know is a challenge for me a lot of the time. Alright, and scooch that down just a little bit. Well, it's still up a little bit higher than I want it to be. There we go, right there. And I'm just going to snip off that little bit of excess so I don't have a bulky spot right there. And then we'll bring our card base over here. And instead of opening it this way, I'm going to open it landscape way with it opening this way. So a little bit different. So we'll bring out our glue again and we'll attach that. Which side do I want? I'm just going to leave a tiny, tiny edge going all the way around it. Got some glue right there. I'm going to bring my glue eraser over here. And I guess that kind of went off the edge with that glue over here, so we're going to get rid of that little smudge. And move it down here. Alright, so there's our card so far. Now we're going to work on our sentiment. And our sentiment, the die comes from the Autumn Leaves dies, and I'm using this little label that comes from there, Autumn Leaves dies. But I've already cut that out already, so we're just going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to use Your Friendship Means Everything. And I'm just using our black Memento ink to stamp that with. Get back in camera view here. And see if I can get this stamped on there right. Well, that's kind of smudgy. I'm going to try another one. I cut out some extra labels here, so let me try that again. Well, no, that's too light. Well, third time's a charm, maybe. I think I need to re-ink my stamp pad. I think that's what the problem is. Let me stamp that off and see what it looks like first. Yeah, that's looking better. Okay, that's not too bad. So we're going to close up our ink pad here first before we stick our fingers into it. And I'm going to take a couple little snips of the ribbon here because I want to hang that from the bottom of our label. And I'm going to just bring back our Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to run a strip across the bottom. And I just want to attach this little ribbon to the bottom. And then I'm going to bring over my dimensionals and put dimensionals on the back of there also. So, I think I'll do 3. We'll put 1 over the top of that ribbon to make sure it stays put, doesn't move on me. And get my Take Your Pick tool to pop off those backings of those dimensionals. Oops. Okay, now we can place that onto our card. And I'm going to put it up in the upper right-hand corner. And bring our ribbon back over here. And I'm going to make a faux bow. And which is just, I'm tying a little piece of ribbon onto it, making it look like a bow. Oops. Got butterfingers this morning. And just snip off those edges. And I want this one a little bit shorter. And I'm going to twist my ribbon around here so it lays right. Okay, so there's the front of our card so far, and we need to add some bling to it, which I'm using these here. They are called opaque ovals. And we're using the blue. And take your pick tool to remove those. And we're going to place 3. So maybe 1 right there. And this is always the hardest part, is deciding where to put your embellishments. Whoops. Lost that little guy. Come back here. And maybe 1 right here. Alright, so there's the outside of our card. And now we're going to do the inside, which is our basic white again. And that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp our sentiment, which says, wishing you the brightest birthday. And again, I'm using our black Memento ink. And I think I'm going to use this for my cushion. We're using photopolymer, so we need something underneath it. Your silicone mat works really good, or your piercing mat, whichever. And I'm just going to stamp that right in the center. Close up our ink pad again. And I've got a little strip of the designer series paper, what was left over when I cut the designer paper off. And I think it's probably, that's 1/4 of an inch. And we're going to attach that to the bottom of our card here. So let me add some glue to the back of it. Yeah, there we go. And we're going to leave a small border at the bottom. And I always like to have a little extra so I can trim it off. It's easier to trim it off than it is to add to it. So I always cut it a little longer. And then we'll glue on the back, and we'll put that inside of our card. Does anybody have any good plans for the weekend? I know it's already here. And here's our card. Let me clean up a little bit here and get some things out of the way. Then back on there again. So it says, your friendship means everything. Wishing you the brightest birthday. So that's our first card. Get our second one. Well, first day of fall is next week, I think. So we're going to do a fall card today. Get that out of there. And I'm using the Autumn Leaves stamp set and the dies, which you can get as a bundle. And I've got a few things here that I am using. We're using the pastel adhesive back sequins. More Dazzle 6x6 specialty paper. And our new Deckled Circles dies. These are big. This big one, the largest one, is about 5 7/8 inches big, or diameter. And then it goes all the way down to a smaller one. I think there's like 14 dies in here. Yes, 14 dies. So we've got a lot of circles. And then I'm using the Leaf Fall 3D embossing folder. This was retired, but they brought it back. You can get it in the online exclusives area. So I'm glad that they brought it back, because I love these leaves. Oh, it's, like it says, falling leaves, leaf fall. Let's just set all this aside, and we'll get down to our business here. And get this one, this one, this one, and put this one on the block. I had to snitch that from the other stamp set. I need to order some more of the long skinny ones. Okay, so like I said, here's our card, and it says, I'm thankful with a grateful heart, and for all you do. And then I stamped a leaf on the inside, and then it's got another cute little die that comes with that. I'll be showing that to you when we get to it here. Alright. Clean up my area a little bit here so I can find things. Over there. Okay, so we're going to start out with our card base, which I'm using gray granite. Put our card up here so I can look at it. Okay, gray granite is our card base, and that's just our basic 5.5 by 8.5, and then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. So we're just going to burnish that edge of that, and we'll set that aside. And our inside layer is our basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and I used that die that I showed you on there, and it's really leaves cute. It doesn't cut all the way through, but it cuts out the little dots, that's really different. I don't know if Stampin' Up has ever had one of those before. So we're going to put that back in our thing here so we don't lose it. So that's the inside of our card. So let's go ahead and do the inside while we've got that. We're going to get our oak leaf, and we're going to stamp with our gray granite. Okay. And what I do with my silicone mat, there it is. I'll have to keep using it. And we're going to ink up that maple leaf. I think that's a maple leaf. I don't know my trees that well. And we're going to stamp that kind of kitty wonkas in the middle of our inside portion. Oh, Becky's asking, do you know if you can color with alcohol blends on top of embossing powder? Ah. Yeah, I believe so. Oh gosh, Becky, you guys burn coal for winter? I grew up with my parents up north had a coal burning furnace. So I didn't know they still used it. Huh. I bet you got good heat though. I bet it keeps you warm. Not like electric heat. We've got electric heater here, but then we've got some propane heaters, and then we've got our fireplaces, a propane insert fireplace. So, but the electric doesn't get you that warm at all. So I prefer the other. Okay, so we're going to use this little one that says, "For all you do." And we're using, again, the gray granite, and we're going to stamp that right above our little leaf right there. I probably should have done a darker, but that's fine. Let me close that up. Okay, coal and wood. Okay, we used to have a wood fireplace, but we switched it over to the gas fireplace instead. I have asthma, so kind of the wood burning kind of made that flare up, so we decided to change. Okay. All right, let's get back to the card here. Getting sidetracked a little bit. All right, so I've got our card base here, and it's going to be opening this way. And I've got some of that Dazzle paper, which is called More Dazzle, and it's 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches, and that's going to be our mat that's onto our card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to winter. I'm more of a summer person. I guess the older I get, the more I can't take the cold, I guess. Okay, so we're going to put that down. And this is a thicker paper, so you might want to give it a little extra glue to hold it down, and a good rub so it attaches to your cardstock. And it doesn't come off. You would think it would, but it doesn't. There's no shedding of the glitter at all. All right, and then our card front is from our Pebbled Path cardstock, and it measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I've already embossed that using our leaf embossing folder. So I just did part of it. And then I used, get my dies back out here. And it's got another die in here, which is sort of like the long one, but it's a short. And I just embossed it a little bit on the one side, just to give it a little character. fact, it's flipped on me in my embossing machine, but that's okay because it's going to be covered up partially anyway. And then I cut one of those circles out using the, I think it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th circle from the inside. And then I run that through the embossing folder also and did the leaves on that circle to give it a little bit of dimension. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this to our card front. And I'm going to put a little extra glue on this because it's got to stick to that dazzle paper. So I'm going to be a little generous with my glue this time. And when you emboss something anyway, it does take a little extra glue. So, and we're going to leave just a small border going around. So I had to make some stuff for church for tonight. We were doing revival, so we're feeding the people coming, so we're doing finger foods. So I made some brownies, and I'm going to make some deviled eggs for tonight. So I was in the kitchen a little bit this morning getting things done. It's still not enough. It's taking a little extra. I think it's soaking into that dazzle paper a little bit, and now I've got squirting out the holes here. That's all right. And all of my fingers. Give me a moment to wipe those off. And we're going to attach our circle. And you could put it up on dimensionals, but I just put mine flat down, I think I did. Yeah, I didn't emboss or put dimensionals on it. I pray this way it'll go through the mail a little bit easier. The post office will like us better. All right, and we're going to attach that. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to work on our sentiment. And I've die cut our sentiment from the gray granite cardstock, and I'm using the little label. So let me get that pulled off. It's got little holes going all the way around it with stitching, and that's also in with that same die set. All right, so we're going to take the stamp that says I'm grateful, and I think I'm going to switch out my ink. I'm going to use the Pebbled Path instead. It's a little bit darker than what the gray granite is. So let's do that. Now my husband's deciding he wants to mow grass, so you'll probably hear the lawnmower in the background. And we're going to scooch this clear up to the very top, as close to the top as we can get it. And I apologize for my head in the camera. Look at all that gray hair. Okay, I'm thankful with the grateful heart. And we'll do that at the bottom portion. And I hope they're straight. Ah, pretty good. Alright, so we're going to close that up. And well, I'm going to stamp my maple leaf on here. And again, I'm going to use I'm going to switch out ink colors. I need to bring over my chamois so I can clean off my stamp. My Simply Chamois. If you don't have one of these, you might want to put it on your next order. These are a lifesaver for cleaning your stamps. It looks like it's pretty dirty, but it's just, it stains after a bit, but it still works wonderfully. You just rinse it out with warm water until your water runs clear and you're ready to go for the next time. Okay, so I'm going to use Moody Mauve. And we're I'm going to stamp that onto our scrap paper of our pebbled path. And I'm just going to let that soak in really good. Close this up. Okay, and that'll dry later as it dries. Alright, now I'm going to bring over my baby bow hold. Ah, I lost the leg off of her. Stick that back on there. Huh. Must be the humidity or something made it pop loose. Washi tape that I dropped. I might need that. And you can get the baby bow hold by Stampin' and Cut and Emboss machine. It's available on our online exclusives. So if you want it in the blue, you can still get her there. Him or her or whichever. Alright. And I'm going to be using my number 3 plate and 2 of our number 2s plates. Trying to get this in camera view a little bit. I'm going to snip this down and make it easier to work with. Supposed to cut that around the leaves so I can fit it on there. And die out for the leaf, which I haven't done yet. Okay, we're going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold that in place. And I've got some up here. I'm thinking it might be sticky enough to hold it. Well, no, let's use another one. Usually I have little bits and pieces of tape all over the place. You can use them a couple of times before there's no sticky left. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and run that through. I hope I don't jiggle the camera too much. I'm pushing everything out of the way. And that in there. There's our leaf. And we're going to set that aside because we're going to take our, this is in our online exclusives. It's, you get 1 sheet of gold and 1 sheet of silver, but it's already got the adhesive on it already, so you just peel that off the back and you got a ready-made sticker, so you don't have to mess with trying to put glue on your project. And we're going to do the veins of the leaf with that. Let me find the die. Where did it go? Okay, I guess I already did that already. Did I? I am missing a die. Well, there it is. Okay, here it is. And we're going to just place that onto our gold sparkly paper. And then we'll run that through. And my plates are wanting to move all over the place. Let me turn this over. There. Something fell. I don't know what that was. Guess I jiggled my table. Alright, and then we'll pull that out of there. I'm using my metal magnetic bowl for my dies so I don't lose them. So, oops. I don't think that cut all the way through. We need to run that through one more time. And press that back into place. See if I can match this up. Things happen on lives. Alright. Let me grab my washi tape off of our last die so I can hold that in place so it doesn't move. So you might want to run it through a couple times to make sure it cuts. Usually we don't have a problem, but it's kind of a thicker specialty paper, so it probably should have been ran through twice, backwards and forwards. And you can turn over the back side and see that it's cut all the way through. Alright, so we're going to set our baby boss aside for a moment, and we're going to attach this to our leaf. This just all pops off of there. And take your pick tool to poke it out so I don't have to tug at it. You don't want to rip it. And see, you can see that it's already lifting off the paper. So we'll just go ahead and finish pulling that off. I've got one of my hairs are stuck to it. I'm shedding. Alright, comes off really easy. And now we want to stick that onto our leaf. So I'm going to bring my silicone mat back here because I don't want it sticking to my work surface. And we'll line that up on the leaf. And you can kind of move them where you need it to be. Kind of watching that center of that bottom portion. And there, see how easy? You don't have to fight with the glue trying to get it onto that small area. Very pretty. Like I said, it comes in silver or gold. And it's 2 sheets. I think it's like $7 for the 2 sheets, but they're 12 by 12. So it'll go for a long time. And I'll go ahead and attach that to our circle. And I'm going to use our Tombow glue. And I'm going to kind of put it at a little bit of an angle on top of that circle. You can have part of it going off the edge of the circle there. And I'm going to hold that for a moment. Make sure that the glue is attaching. And we're going to take our little banner here, and I've got a little strip of that dazzle paper, and we're going to put a little strip along the bottom here. But I'm going to use the label again. I'm going to cut out a portion of that, and it's going to fit onto the other. So let me bring our machine back over here, Baby Boss. And I don't know, let's see if I can get you in camera view here. Alright, and we're just going to line up our edge to the bottom of that label. And you just snitch some washi tape again. Hold that down in place. And another little piece here. do my top plate. And same with this, I'm gonna run it back and forth, I think. Well, yeah, there it goes. I had to give it a little push there to get it to go. And it's over there. See, it only cut half of it, that's all I wanted. And bring our silicone mat over here again to attach this to the bottom of our label. And I think I'm going to use a little tear and tape. It might hold it a little bit better. So let me find the end of my roll here. And just going to run that across the bottom portion. Take your pick tool. And press that down. And then I'm going to kind of hover over the top of that. I want a little bit showing on each side. I'm not sure if the camera's bringing it in good view. But you can kind of see right here, it's a little bit of that corner and a little bit of this corner showing. I'm way out of camera view. Figure out where my camera is. See, I got a little bit of this corner showing and a little bit of this corner showing. Well, it's still out of camera view. There we go. And now we're going to put that up on dimensionals. And I'm just going to put one at each end and in the center. And bring our card back over here so we can put that on our card front. And kind of place it right there. And now, I want your opinion on which bow you'd like to use. This is our new large check ribbon. It's sort of like our black and white, but it's got the bigger checks than what the black and white one does, where this one's black and vanilla. So either that one or the textured ribbon, which is the pebbled path. I could decide, but I think I'm kind of going with the checkered one. So this one, the pebbled path, or the checkered one. Which one do you think looks better? Yeah, the ladies are all going to bring something different, so I thought I'd make brownies instead of cookies, which I thought about cookies, but I'm kind of busy this morning and they take a little bit more time to do. But I'm sure somebody will. And we have like finger sandwiches and that sort of thing. So which one do you like better? Do you like the vanilla checkered, or do you like the pebbled path bow? I'm kind of leaning towards the checkered. So the pebbled path or the checkered. Well, while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and put our sequins on there. And like I said, they're the pastel adhesive back sequins, and I'm going to go with the gold. And these come in two sizes. It's got a smaller and a larger, and the 3 different colors. We're going to use the gold large ones. I'm going to put 3. I like to do odd numbers. So we're going to put 2 up here in the corner. And then another one over in the right-hand corner. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and do the checkered vanilla. And I'm just going to grab a mini glue dot to attach that. Oops, stuck my finger on a glue dot there. And I'm just going to place that onto our leaf stem. And press that down and poof up my bow. And then we're going to trim off those tails a little bit. And this one also. I like to cut my tails of my ribbon at an angle instead of straight across. So there's our front of our card. Now let's go ahead and attach our inside of our card, which we've already done. I'm going to kind of stay away from that where I die cut that, because the holes, it kind of seeps through there with the glue and I don't want it oozing out, so I didn't put any glue at the bottom. We're going to place that inside of our card, keeping a small border going all around. And okay, so there's our card. It says, "I'm thankful with a grateful heart and for all you do." So that's our second card. I'm wondering if I should do my third card. I guess we could. If you're in a hurry, you can always come back and watch the replay. But let me go ahead and do our third card. And some things out of my way here so you can see what I'm doing. Bit of room here. All right. I think I've got everything already cut, so it shouldn't take, well, no, I guess I do need to stamp and cut out, but it shouldn't take us long. Here's our card. It's a little bit of a fun fold. It says, "Wishing you all the happiness in the world," and happy birthday on the inside. And this has got an inch cut off the one top flap, so it makes a little bit of a fun card there. So let me get my things together here. We'll get started. Instructions. And we're using the Translucent Florals bundle. Okay. And our card base is going to be this is our, what color are we using? Berry Burst. Yes, Berry Burst cardstock, and it's 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4. It looks more reddish on the camera, but it's more of a pink. I guess it's just the way the lighting of the camera is hitting it. Makes it look red, but it's really a pink. So we're going to set the card base aside. And okay, the embossing folder that we're using is the Exposed Brick 3D And I've already embossed that, so let me get back with our card base first. I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. Let me bring my paper trimmer over, and we're going to cut off an inch off of that front flap. Let's open it up, and then we'll cut off an inch. And our inch mark is right there. Doesn't show on the camera very well. Let me see, boost it down here a little bit. Okay, let's take an inch off of that edge. And you can save your little 1-inch piece. You could use it for something else later on. I think that's all we need the paper trimmer for. Alright, and then we've got our basic white, which measures 3 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And I've already embossed that with the exposed brick embossing folder. And we're going to attach that to that front flap. And I'm going to silicone that back over here. And keep from getting glue all over the place here, hopefully. And we'll attach that to that. Even a small border going around. And we'll set that aside for a moment. And I guess I didn't get any scrap white here, so I need to grab some of that to stamp on. I've got a little bit here I'll use. We're going to stamp our flowers, and our inks that we're using are going to be Mossy Meadow, Pretty Peacock, Calypso Coral, Berry Burst, and Flirty Flamingo. So we're going to start out with, we'll do our leaves first, and I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock for that. And we're using this leaf right here. And we're needing 2 of those. Right there. And another beside it. Alright. We're going to do all of our stamping first before we come back and cut them out. We're done with the green, Pretty Peacock. And we're going to stamp 1 large flower and 2 smaller ones. And we're going to use Berry Burst. So I think on my card I just used the Berry Burst. I didn't use the Flirty Flamingo, so I think that's what we're going to stick with, just the Berry Burst. I used a card base on this, oh well. I thought I was grabbing scratch paper. Yeah, it'll work. Like we say, it'll be okay. Okay, there's 2 small ones. Oh, that's the big one. We need 2 small ones. I'm really messing up here. So I got 1 large extra flower for next time. Alright, there's the 2 small ones. And that's using the Berry Burst ink. Alright, now we're going to bring our baby boss over here and do some cutting, die cutting. And I need to cut my paper down to size here, so let's bring our scissors snips over here. And cut these apart a little bit. Can it fit in there? Yes. Make the plates first. Where's my other plate? There it is. Put our bottom plate down, bring our dies over here. And of course it stays in there. And I got my washi tape on there, so it makes it a little bit faster here. There. Well, my fingers aren't cooperating today. And like I said, we're going to need 2 leaves. There's 1. So next week I should be back on my regular scheduled time. So it'll be Wednesday. And at my normal time, 1 o'clock Central Time. Our camping trip went well. We're hoping to plan another one maybe for next month when it's a little bit cooler. But the weather was pretty good. We did have rain pretty much every day, but it wasn't an all-day thing, so that was good. We did miss not having the boat with us, though. It needs some repairs done to it before we can take it out again, so hopefully for next camping trip it'll be going with us. But I'm not sure how warm the water will be, if we'll be able to go swimming at all. I should have done 2 at a time. There's a large flower. And now we're going to do the smaller flower. Each of these here. And get my washi tape stuck down on there. Oops. Might help if I turn the die the right way. On top, run these girls through again. And this is our 3rd flower, so we're just about done here. I guess I could have stamped them ahead of time and die cut them out already. It would have saved a little time. But like I said, if you're not able to stay and watch, you can watch the replay later. And be sure that you like and share the video. And if you're watching it later on YouTube, when I get it posted there, be sure that you subscribe to my channel. And you'll be notified whenever I put new videos. I'd really appreciate that. Let me clean off my space here so I got room to work. It's funny how when you're crafting, that your work surface area gets smaller and smaller. Does anybody else have that problem? We start out with a big area, then sooner or later, when we're halfway through our project or whatever, we've maybe got like 6 inches to work with. I don't know. I guess that's just a normal thing. Okay, so let's bring our card back over here, which I've buried underneath everything. And we're going to start placing our flowers down. So I want to take my leaves and I want to put them along the edge of our front flap. And we're going to glue that down. So I'm going to take this top one first. And you only want to put glue on the one side. You don't want to glue it to your back of your card. So it would be on the left side of your leaf. I had to turn it around and get my bearings right. And we're going to hang that off the edge, but make sure you don't go over the edge of the card on the right side. And we'll do the same with this one. And place that down over the other one a little bit, overlapping. Got a little glue right there. Okay, now we're going to take our flowers and arrange them. So I'm going to do the 2 little ones we just glued down, but the big one I'm going to put that up on dimensional. So let's go ahead and do that. Grab our dimensionals over here. And I'm going to put 3 on the back of that. And I was kind of laying them down to see how I want them to go. So we're going to put that one right there. Like I said, I'm just gluing this one down directly. And I still want some of the leaves poking out the back side of that, so we're still seeing those. So you don't want to hide them completely. And our third flower, which is our other little flower, is going to go right there. And we're going to place it that way. So let's take your pick tool and pop off those backings of those dimensionals. And we're going to place that mid-center there. And then I'm going to come back in with my Wink of Stella, and we're going to give that a little bit of wink. And it kind of makes the ink bleed a little bit, so it kind of fills the whole flower in, which I like that effect, plus it makes it shiny. And do all the petals there. Turn it a little bit so I can get these. So it just makes it a little bit darker, so it makes it kind of stand out a little bit more from the other ones. Okay, and I thought I had a label made for this one, but I guess I don't. No. Alright, so we're going to stamp using our Pretty Peacock again. We're going to stamp our sentiment, which is wishing you all the happiness in the world. And I don't have the dies out for that. Well, I guess I can't be all organized here. Let me grab the die for that really quick. I'm going to cut that out using the Deckled Rectangles dies. close the stamp pad up. And I'm going to use this one right here, which is, I think, the smallest rectangle. And you get, how many in here? You get 8 different dies, rectangles. And they're kind of cool because they're not as straight lines, they're kind of jiggly out lines. So I'm going to bring my baby boss back over here again, and we're going to run that through real quick. And I'm going to kind of keep the sentiment up towards the upper portion and leave a space at the bottom because that's where I want to put my bow at. So here's our little die, sentiment. And I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. And I'm going to put 3, one at the top and the bottom, and then one in the middle. And that's going to go at the lower left side. And let's bring it up a little bit. And then I've tied a little double bow using this is the Sweet Sorbet metallic woven ribbon. And this was with the in colors from last year, which are still current yet. So I made a little double bow using that, and we're going to attach that with a mini glue dot. And I'm going to take one of my Stampin' Up glue dots here, it's handy, and I'm going to place that down, kind of in the middle towards the bottom. And attach that. And I think I'll trim off those tails a little bit where my paper snips go. You don't want to see my desk, it's a mess. Surprised I can find anything right now. Alright, and I'm going to toss those. And with this ribbon, you can fray the edges of the ribbon, the tails, so it gives it kind of a poofy look. I'm not sure that's a word. Okay, so there's the front of our card. Let's add some bling to that. I've got the 2023 to 2025 in color dots, and we're going to be using these here. They look like the Berry Burst color. And take your pick tool to remove those, and I think I'm going to use the medium. Well, let's do a large and then a medium. Well, there we are. Well, I'm having problems picking that one up. He doesn't want to go. There we are. And stick that one right there. Got a little glue on there. And another medium. We'll put it down here by this flower. Okay, so there's the outside of our card. Let me move these out of the way with our little fun fold flap. And now let's do the inside. That's scrap paper. And our inside measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Is that right? I think I might have grabbed the wrong paper. Yeah, 4 by 5 3/8. It's a little bit longer. Let me grab another one here. I've already got some cut already. I cut these ahead of time, so I have them handy. These are all the standard inside measurements, the 4 by 5 1/4 inch. So I cut those ahead of time, so I have them handy where I don't have to cut them each time. So that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. So we're going to bring our silicone mat back over here, and we're going to do a little bit of stamping on the inside layer. And I need our pretty peacock. And our little leaf here. And we're just going to stamp one down on the corner here. And that one didn't do quite right. Let's turn that over. Didn't have it inked up right, I guess. Okay. So one in the bottom left-hand corner. And I'm going to put another one at the top left-hand corner. I'm going to turn that over. And like that. And then we're going to do our happy birthday using the pretty peacock ink. And I'm going to keep that too off to the left side so it doesn't show with our flap missing there. Okay, close that up. Bring our glue over. And glue that to the inside of our card. That's straight. Yeah, that's straight. Okay, here's our third and final card. Let me move some things out of the way here so we can put our cards up here to show. And what did I do with the cap for this? It's underneath my mess there, hiding. All right, so there's our cards. Let me see if I can get them all in view here. Well, sort of. I guess because I'm zoomed in so much. Yeah. I guess I could unzoom it and you can see it better. Thank you, Becky. Glad you like them. All right, there. Now we can see all three. So there's our 3 cards for today. I hope you enjoyed them. I enjoyed making them. So I'm going to be back next Wednesday, which will be September 20th already. So I'll be back at my normal time, 1 o'clock Central and 2 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific time. So be sure that you like and share the video and tell your friends about me. And if you're watching on YouTube, like I said, be sure that you hit that subscribe button that's down below and click that little bell so you'll be notified when I have new videos go live. I'd really appreciate that. So until next Wednesday, y'all have a good rest of the weekend. Take care, stay healthy, and hopefully you get some crafting time in. And until then, we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here.